pretty nice guy. I'm not a bad person. It's a little bit like what they expected from Trump after he got shot. People were wondering, are you going to change? Is it changed? Is he different? Is he going to be nice? He addressed that issue. He was interviewed this morning on Fox and Friends, on Fox News. And I so appreciated what he said about the expectation that he's going to be Mr. Nice Guy. Now, this is a great clip. I got to play this for you. And by the way, can I please address a text message I just got from Georgia about how Salem News Channel is advertising a DEI t-shirt. No, it's not a DEI t-shirt. Look at the ad. It is a play on the word binary. It's Bidenary. It's mocking the DEI movement. So people are all fired up, and they keep writing me about this commercial that runs on Salem News Channel promoting these t-shirts that make fun of diversity, equity, and inclusion, make fun of the whole binary conversation, and the shirts say Bidenary. Bidenary. Get it? They're making fun of binary and DEI. Gosh, it's a crazy. People see things or hear things, and it's like maybe you listen with half an ear or watch with half of one eye. I mean, I'll say something sarcastic, and somebody will write me, you said blah, 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 blah. Can't you tell I'm kidding? Don't you know sarcasm or humor or satire? Jeez, oh, Pete's. All right, 22 before the hour. Here we go. This is Trump. Maybe I'm not such a nice guy. And he definitely isn't going to be a Mr. Nice Guy after getting shot, as he explained on Fox and Friends this morning.
I get a kick out of one thing. They say, sir, be nice. You just got hit with a bullet. Maybe he's changed. Be nice. And I'd love to be nice, but I'm dealing against real garbage. When you hear that, they've weaponized the justice system against me. They've indicted me 4 times. They've pushed other lawsuits onto me. It's never happened in this country. This is like a third world country, what they've done, a banana republic. Every single court case that I have is pushed on by them. They've taken the Justice Department, used local DAs, and used local attorney generals. Every single case I have, and I just won the big one in Florida, that Biden didn't win. What happened to Biden is they called him incompetent. He can run for president, but he's incompetent to represent himself in court. But just so you know, they push all these cases on me. They're the ones that started. And then they say, I'm a prosecutor. He's a criminal. They're the ones. Every case is started by them.
He's right. And what a fantastic common sense, down-to-earth take. They tried to kill me, and you want me to be nice? They've tried to put me in jail. They've attempted to bankrupt me. They've tried to destroy me, literally. And you want me to be nice? That's Trump. Our buddy Joey Hudson was in Charlotte. We want to check in with Joey today. He went to the Trump rally in Charlotte, where Joey called me in the afternoon. He said, Mike, I don't think I've ever seen this many people in one place in my life. I've got a caller from Louisville who is a self-proclaimed rhino and wants to see if I'll answer the question, why should I vote for Donald Trump? Why should a rhino, which of course means Republican in name only, vote for Trump? This should be fun. Hello, Mike in Louisville.
Hi, Mike.
How are you?
I get the radio on the corner. I see that there's a 10-second delay. But yes, I'm a rhino. My first time to vote was Nixon in '72 when they changed the 18-year-old law, or to vote at 18.
This is going to go very badly.
And,
yes, sir.
Well, there's this one. I read history, and I'll be short because you got a lot of.
No, take your time.
But this thing about Trump being surviving that assassination attempt because of Providence and God.
Yes.
You know who that mirrors? I'm sure you get this a lot. Who that mirrors? Providence, Adolf Hitler. But anyway, yeah, I think. But anyway, So why
Can I
would
ask
a
you a personal
rhino
question?
go?
Can I ask you a personal
Yeah,
question? I don't mean to be mean. What do you do for a living?
I'm I live on Social Security.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
a veteran,
God bless you.
and
Thank you. That's good.
thank
Thank
you.
you for your service.
Yeah, it's just some of the comments, and yeah, that was, and I don't think this was a conspiracy. I think it was just a loner
Yeah, just a lone guy.
nutcase.
Did the guy try to kill Donald Trump?
Yes.
Okay, so what was the comparison to Hitler? I didn't quite follow you there, Mike.
Well, it was about Providence, which that's what Adolf Hitler. He survived all his assassination attempts, and now Donald Trump is.
Hitler survived
Well,
assassination attempts, and that was Providence, but Trump is not. I'm not.
no, I'm saying, well, if you get,
Do you think that Trump is
I'm
like? Do you think Trump's like Hitler?
I'm a, no, using that phrase, I'm a Methodist, but I
You're a
believe in
Methodist.
separation of church and state, and I
Oh,
know
okay.
there's a big thing about this country was
I got
created.
you. Hey, let me ask you. We are a little bit up against the clock. So let me ask you a direct question. How do you think the country's going right now, Mike? What condition is the country in right now, Mike?
Lousy, with all the millions of illegal aliens,
Right.
who they let anybody in,
Right.
trying to get.
And so you're doubting why you should vote for Donald Trump when you know that we've been overrun by an army, a cavalcade, a tsunami of illegals, and you know how Trump wants to fix the border and was fixing the border. You have a doubt about whether or not to vote for him, Mike?
Well, the problem is no doubt because I can't vote right now because I don't have valid ID.
Oh boy. Okay, Mike. Thank you, sir. God bless you. Thanks for your service. I tried. I really did. Gave it my best shot. You can't take away my effort to at least try. Our correspondent at large and frequent guest host, Joey D. Hudson, made the journey to Charlotte, which is just about an hour and a half north of his beloved upstate of South Carolina. Mr. Hudson, you called me in the afternoon, and while we're on the phone, because you're telling me about the rally, you said, Mike, they're dropping like flies. They're fainting left and right. It's about 100 degrees out here. I thought, oh no, the humanity. Tell me about the whole experience, because a lot of people showed up to see President Trump yesterday.
Well, it's not funny that people were passing out, but I mean, it was just crazy yesterday as thousands and thousands of people. You see them there if you're watching on the Salem News Channel. Mike, I got there around 1:30 yesterday afternoon, and the primary parking area for the Bojangles Arena was already full. Already thousands of people who'd been there since some 6, 7 o'clock in the morning for the doors to open at 2 o'clock. Once the doors opened at 2, there was a steady stream of people going through security to get in. I'm told the capacity of the arena is 8,600 for a normal event. That doesn't take into effect that they were using the floor of the arena yesterday. So I never heard an official number, but I would assume you could probably have gotten 3,000 or 4,000 more people in to sit on the floor, and people were turned away. Some people were disappointed, but they just kind of hung around out front. But yes, it was hot, and I don't do very well with heat.
No, I don't either. I'm glad you were there instead of me. We're living vicariously through you, Joey. You and I went to this rally in Wilmington, North Carolina a couple months ago, and it was storm clouds moved in, and right before President Trump was scheduled to land, they made the decision that they couldn't land the plane because it was too dangerous. So he addressed the crowd from the cockpit of the plane, which is pretty cool. I mean, he made an announcement. It was all over the speakers. But Joey, I was so riveted by the reaction of the crowd. Nobody booed, nobody moaned, nobody yelled. Everybody just kind of said, oh, too bad, and they filed out. And then I thought about our experience in Wilmington and compared it to the reaction in Butler, Pennsylvania, when he was nearly killed. During the assassination attempt, despite Trump being shot, despite Corey Comprador being killed, that crowd didn't stampede. They didn't panic. They didn't freak out. Joey, these rallies contain people of a very different kind of mettle, don't they?
Absolutely. And the thing that I noticed yesterday too, Mike, and this is just so encouraging, is the number of young people. And I'm talking, 20-something-year-olds who took the afternoon off from work to attend this rally. That gives me hope for for the next generation. But yeah, this is a special group of people. And even yesterday, some had literally stood there in the heat for hours. And yes, there were people who passed out because it was 90 plus degrees in Charlotte yesterday. And when you're compressed with thousands of others in an area like that, it can get much heater, particularly on a paved area. But nobody complained. Even those who had waited for hours to get in, who were not able to get in, no complaints. They just kind of hung out, talked among one another, and that's the kind of people that you see at these Trump rallies.
Well, give us an example of somebody you met waiting to get in to see President Trump last night in Charlotte.
Well, I literally talked to hundreds of people yesterday, and it's fun to do. Just to, why are you here? I basically asked them the same question. Number one, why would you come in 90-degree weather to wait out here and to see President Trump? Why are you here, number one? Number two, what do you think about J.D. Vance as the vice presidential nominee? And number three, does it change things now that it appears that Kamala Harris is going to be the Democrat nominee? I happened to meet Richard, and I'd like to share what Richard's comment was on why he was there, what he thinks about J.D. Vance, and what he thinks about Kamala.
Following President Trump for a long time, I appreciate what he does. I love his passion for this country and his dedication to the Americans. He doesn't have to do this. He does this because he loves this country. I think J.D. Vance is an excellent running mate for President Trump. I just watched his documentary that was made several years ago on Netflix, and what a great story J.D. Vance has, and what another great committed American. Kamala Harris is probably, it would naturally be the one you would think to be running against President Trump now that Biden is out. I don't think she's much of a threat. She's going to get a little more of the African American, maybe the female vote, but I think Trump is strong, and he's got a great following, and he's going to prevail.
And Mike, that was the overall theme. People just aren't concerned with Kamala Harris if, in fact, she becomes a Democrat nominee.
I wish I could be 100% convinced that they're going to keep her, but when the polling, I don't know what the polls are going to look like. They still show Trump mostly with the lead. There was one poll that shows her with, I think, 1 percentage point advantage. CNN poll came out yesterday after the Biden announcement. Trump is up by 3, I think 46 to 43. I don't know how you feel, but I'm not sure they're going to stick with Kamala any more than they were ready to go down with Joe Biden.
Well, and that's why we just have to keep our fingers crossed that in the next few weeks that the Democrats don't wake up and realize that that she's not the ideal candidate, because we need her on that ticket.
Joey Hudson in Charlotte, North Carolina, our correspondent at large, and guest hosting for me, because barring a meteor striking the planet Earth next week, I got to get a few days off because I'm tired. You know what I mean?
I understand. We're going to have some fun next week.
I know you will.